Hey, so welcome back to the Whiskey Friends. I'm Ken, and we have Michael, Henry, and J Bones here, and we've been popping some corks.
Well played. Do that again.
So,
I love that sound, really.
So today, what do we have going on here today?
So this one is, I'll take it away since I brought it, if that's all right. It's a Lagavulin 16-year-old.
Can you say that again?
Lagavulin.
Oh, yeah.
Lagavulin.
Sounds foreign.
Right? But it's a Islay whiskey. It's kind of the prototypical Scotch. When I think of Scotch, I think of this one. So it has every characteristic you think of when you think of Scotch. So smoky, peated, just very strong, bold flavors, even the color. But yeah, it's matured in oak casks, and so yeah, it's.
Yeah, and I just found out here this past month, actually. I thought they use sherry casks in this to some degree, but it's all 100% bourbon oak.
Bourbon oak.
So, as well as the 12 is too, which I was fooled on that one. The only one they do use is they have one called the Distiller's Edition, which is a variation on the 16. So
Nice.
sorry,
No, I was
throwing more stuff in there.
one thing I was amazed at is like a lot of Scotches use bourbon casks, like 70% or something like that.
So my question goes is,
Yeah.
what did the Scots do before Americans made bourbon, right?
Oak casks. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
variety of oak casks.
They reused them, right?
Yep, yep. And
So-
they use some sherry at times too, and
Yep.
So when I put a nose to this one, I of course catch that faint hit of smoke.
Yeah. It's not as strong as some of the others.
But I catch some apple again. I catch that mineral smell.
whenever I drink this, I always got a hint of copper. That's what I always thought when I drank it too. So not a strong, but it's just a faint hint of copper when I.
Yeah, and
Try it.
it's
a little more red, right?
It's kind of a gold red. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a very interesting nose.
Like very late in the nose, I get a little sweeter, like a sherry.
Yep.
Almost.
And you say these aren't finished in sherry casks.
Right.
Even though
not,
they are
yeah.
darker and they kind of look that way, then maybe may or may not use coloring in this too. Some of them. So usually, if it says, if they'll say on the bottle non-chill filtered and other things, but it doesn't say so on this, I believe. So. So chill filtration is another thing they use in Scotch too, which is that they process it so that when you put ice in it, it doesn't get cloudy. Some people don't like cloudy Scotch, so. But otherwise, if they non-chill filter it, it tends to have more flavors and esters and all those other organic compounds in it.
So bourbon lovers, they just kind of think there's not the complexity to Scotch that there is in bourbon. But what do you think? I mean, is there just as much or more so to pull out of Scotch?
As far as the nose or taste,
Nose and taste, and
I'd say twice as much. Yes,
yeah.
at least. I mean, you get some complexity in some bourbons too, and certain ones I think. But as far as just the variety of flavors and tastes and smells you get, I think it's a wider range in Scotch.
I'll tell you what though, that the smoke really comes out on that palate on that.
Definitely finishes there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When I drink this one, I definitely get the peat, but I also get the oak from
Yep.
the cask for sure.
You definitely can catch the oak in there.
Yep.
And I get,
Is that kind of your bond between bourbon and Scotch, is the oak
Yes.
flavor?
Absolutely. No, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. So, like drinking, most of the time I grab a bourbon just because I enjoy it. But if I'm really wanting to be, interested and involved in like kind of what we're doing here, thinking about what those different flavor profiles are, I'll reach for a Scotch for sure. So,
This is drier.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think one whiskey writer who's deceased now named Michael Jackson, he had a book that was popular over the last 30 years or so, and he described this one as warming a bear hug. So the finish on this too is just, it just kind of wraps you in like a big Smokey the Bear kind of thing, I think. And that's a pretty apt description.
I'm sorry, did you say a writer named Michael Jackson?
That's
Not the
he's
same one, right?
No,
We're talking
he's
about- okay.
from Scotland,
He loves
actually.
Scotch,
But,
too. Many people love Scotch.
So Michael's pretty new to Scotch.
Yeah.
Where are you finding out? I mean, you've been sat through what, about 3-4 episodes now, and
Yeah.
you've kind of went from the tame to maybe a little more atypical sort of Scotch here.
Yeah. So does the dryness that you talk about, is that what kind of makes the mouth tingle a little bit more? Because that one I taste a little bit more tingle than maybe a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, and toward the finish there, especially, you can't get that little dancing on your tongue and things, I think. Yeah, so I think it's part of the ABV, which is, this is only 43%, but yeah, I think a lot of it's the oak and some other things that kind of play into that too.
Because I don't think I get that with bourbon at all.
Not normally.
And so I was trying to figure out that's been a surprise to me tonight.
So what are you finding that you're enjoying and maybe not enjoying the difference between?
You know what, I think there's I feel like there's more of a burn with bourbon.
The heat burn? kind of
Yeah,
thing?
like you can kind of sense a little bit more. This Scotch is not that
Ethanol.
way.
That Kentucky HUD kind of.
Yeah, it kind of it is somewhat
punch.
smoother, and it does have some different flavors. And as much as I thought it was all about the smoky flavor before, I'm starting to sense there's a few more flavors in there to try to
pick out.
try to pick
Yeah, like this one. There's quite a bit of the oakiness. There's also a tinge of fruit in that one.
I get a lot of dates on the finish.
Yeah,
The dried fruit.
but I'm catching the mineral kind of sense from it.
Yeah, I get a little bit of, like you're looking at granite rock or maybe a little bit of copper in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Does granite have a taste?
I mean, do you go and lick rocks? Like, I'm really confused on what's happening.
Yes.
Well, have you ever smelled like granite after it rained before? You never smelled that? Or
have you
rock
taken
after it
that for
rained?
granted?
You know, like maybe the rock out in the rock garden or something. Like that.
Petrichor.
I must be missing it. I don't know. I grew up in the city. Does that count for anything?
Yeah, well, a sidewalk
Like
after it
sewer
rains.
smell.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm talking about
Yeah,
there?
I
Kind of
went out and licked
earthy-
those then, yeah.
Earthy concrete
So,
smell.
so maybe
Yeah.
since this is Midwest, we're kind of used to the how do you say it? I don't want to call it a fertilizer, but
Hog farm?
Yeah, no, that's the putrid sort of smell.
Ooh.
I don't care if they call
That's
it.
not one I want in a glass.
No.
Don't go
not
chicken
at all.
farm. That gets way worse.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man.
So that smell like, the outdoors, that fresh turn. And I know we don't turn soil like we used to here.
No, I think the term they use that is petrichor. So that's the smell you get when like after it rains and you smell the dirt and the mud,
Yeah,
the earthiness.
yeah. I picked that up in abundance with this one.
Sure.
Well, all right. Well, we're working our way down the aisle here. So, what do we got, Henry? What's coming up next for us?
Another Lagavulin. We're going down in years and up in strength.
Down in years and up in strength.
It's a Lagavulin 12, 2021. And it is 58.5%.
All right. So that one's going to have a little more.
A fiery lion
Yeah.
on the cover.
All right.
That's indication of flavor.
All right. Well, I'm Ken for the Whiskey Friends, and for Michael, Henry, and Jay Bones. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.